Just a final word, because I realize I'm too long. The question about the future. In a certain way, what I tried, perhaps I didn't succeed in demonstrating this, but what I tried to say was that racism as a modern form, in its modern strict form, started with the end of racism. With the end of racism. The beginning is the end. It's because the conditions of a, let's say, a triumphant racism were obsolete because of what was happening geopolitically and teletechnologically and etc. Because of that, racism developed. So it developed starting from the end. It's because it was a reaction to the end. So racism has been, from the very beginning, a post-racism. From the very beginning, it started as a post-racism. And this can be followed from Kant's text on the history of humanity and on the concept of race up to now. So we started with a post-racism. So what will come next? I don't know. I don't know. What I'm almost sure of is that with or without the name racism, perhaps the name will disappear, or no one can subscribe to the name racism. No one does. Before the Second World War, and perhaps a little after, there were people, very small in number, who would say, well, I claim that I'm a racist. It's no more possible today. So perhaps the word racism will disappear. That will be the end of race and racism. No scientific content, no justification. But what racism is a symptom of will continue. It will continue endlessly in new forms. And our duty, if you have a political and a meta-political duty, is just to identify these new forms of racism without the name. I must confess that in the let's say the everyday common discourse, I was often, as a philosopher, trying to be rigorous. I was shocked by the use one makes of the word racist. As soon as you exclude someone, you say you're a racist. Okay? Even if there is no reference to race, say, well, you are against homosexuals. That's racism. You are against this or that. That's racism. So racism became a synonym for repression, exclusion, the evil. The evil. So there will be new forms of this. Now I understand what the logic of this looseness of the word represents. So there will be endlessly new forms of what racism in its strict sense represents, and we have to be vigilant in front of them. Thank you. Thank you.